Hey, welcome. It's another episode of the Cultured Misfitspodcast. I am your host, Brandon, aka djsilk, and I just really wanted to give you a quick heads up that this is going to be a two-part episode. So when it cuts off, just know that we're done. We're not finished, we're just done. And part 2 will be airing next week. So have no fear. It's all good. Sit back, enjoy, relax. Remember to follow the Cultured Misfits Podcast at the Cultured Misfits Podcast on Instagram. And then all the links are on that bio on the page. Just click in the bio, okay? All right. So sit back, enjoy, relax, and I'll catch you.
Well, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, he's
my first time doing any type of podcast. And
I know.
Mic'd up. And so this is going to be interesting.
Are you sure?
I'll be all right.
I know you will, man. I know you will. Let's see. And everybody outline was cool. You just okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the outline. How about that?
Yeah, hopefully I can
it was
have
cool.
some contributions to the
Oh, come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
We'll have something. You just feed off of where we saying.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Ceez is a professional, man.
I know. I saw that first episode you were on, and I was okay, this brother's on point.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's content. You know, I just know when to act a little bit. I took acting classes actually in middle school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to a liberal arts middle school, high school. So maybe that helps. I mean, just rapping in general helps too.
Yeah.
Making music.
You know what? It's important that you had somebody to recognize your talents, or you recognize your talents at an early age to know that you want, to be able to take acting lessons or the artist side of yourself.
Right.
Like, a lot of kids nowadays, like us growing up, you didn't really have that.
Parents.
Like I wish I could have went to somewhere that was more. And granted, I nourished and cherished all the friendships I made in my high school, but in the long run in adult life, who I was or was trying to be or find out what I wanted to do in life. And this man right here helped me out with that, with automotive.
That story. Oh my God.
But get into the automotive field, being really good with my hands and stuff. I probably should have went to a vocational school or something like that. So, but that's neither here nor there.
No, I mean, it's important to have somebody to really cultivate what you're good at. I mean, even these kids out on the parks, I see them hitting backflips and everything. And I'm looking at their parents gymnast right here. Just put him in some gymnastics. Look at it. He's a daredevil.
Yeah.
Any little thing. I mean, of course, a lot of guys are playing basketball and they're good at that. But whatever it happens to be, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, the challenge in our culture is that most of our parents and people have been in survival mode, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're in survival mode, you're thinking being practical and whatnot. And a lot of these things that people are great at, fall out of the realm of being practical. Could you 10 years ago, somebody being like, I'm going to be a professional YouTuber. What would you say to your child if they said that to you? You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So when we were coming up, our parents, the way it was you get a college education or whatever, and that's how you're going to make it. Mm-hmm. And so you had to be very practical. And so our parents weren't pushing us towards practicality. Now it's a different story, right? People, push. So.
Right.
But yeah, man, speaking of acting,
I don't even know where this segue is going.
Speaking of acting, no, I was thinking about this. So first of all, how did you feel about J. Cole's? You had time to think about J. Cole and his response to Kendrick, right? I'm saying it's acting. I'm segueing because I just had this epiphany that all of this beef is made up. I don't think it's real.
Do you think the labels are benefiting from this?
I think the artists are benefiting from it.
I would kind of agree with it. I haven't even really heard much about it, and then I'm like, what beef is there to have? They're both, I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. But.
I mean, I know that the beef is promoting the projects are now coming out after these things. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, J. Cole definitely did that. Mm-hmm. He dropped some surprise tape, and then on that tape was a diss track. Now people are listening to the full tape, and they're claiming the whole tape is a diss track. And it's
there's a lot of. I listened to it yesterday.
Garbage. The whole thing is
Lord,
it's
the garbage.
It's poop, man.
God,
I was telling J. Cole stuff like that's. I usually don't hear garbage and J. Cole in the same.
Well, J. Cole has been notoriously underwhelming. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of him for sure. But with that being said, he's going against Kendrick Lamar. He's going against. Yeah. He's the top 3, and this is what you're coming out with. My standards are just a little different.
Yeah. Gotcha.
At
this point in time, bro.
All right. And this is so by the time this episode hits, this is people are like, Wait, oh yeah, they were beefing. We're gonna be so far beyond all this.
I think it'll just be up to the next level. We're gonna be behind in a different sense.
Nah, but I think what people have made a good point, and I wasn't able to articulate it, and in the time when I first heard J. Cole's response was that people wanted him to match his energy, Kendrick's energy.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Kendrick was like hype, ready to fight.
Yeah.
Delivery.
Yeah.
J. Cole Sunday. J. Cole was like, yo, man, I'm not even bothered by you. But I feel like I gotta say something. So I'm gonna let you know. You keep fucking with me, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's what he did. He Sunday. And I'm just saying, and Bill studying martial arts and whatnot throughout his life, if you had a choice between having to go up against somebody who was hype or somebody who was calm, who wouldn't you want to go up against?
The calm person.
Exactly.
Typically because they know something just as bad as you do, or just as, they're going to bring the pain just as.
Right. And that's the thing about beef. It's like, what does this one person know about me that I don't know he knows?
I don't even know it's about information at this point in time. I think it's just the quality. Like J. Cole knows that he's thorough because, all right, I did not care for the music. The music aspect of it, I didn't care for it. Like, I'll never listen to that project ever again.
Okay.
I will never listen to it again. Typically, I struggle with liking J. Cole's production in general. And I know he produces his own tracks. I'm just not a fan of his sonics, right? But from a lyrical point of view, he killed.
Let me tell you, he had a bar on this tape, and I'll tell you, it was literally like this, verbatim. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, I don't know L's.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Is that good to you, Will?
It's a cute play on the alphabet, but it's like you wouldn't expect that from
a J. Cole.
J. Cole. Something a little bit. You would expect something a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
But
this is the guy
on
who
a diss track, especially.
This is the guy who's saying he's gotten to the top just off of rapping. And like, I get it. You're trying to think outside the box, and what comes with that is misses. But bro.
But Kendrick had a verse. He had a whole 7-minute song. So to have some misses in the 7-minute song is understandable versus having to come hard for 16 bars.
Usually I let you cook, but the song is called 7-Minute Drill.
Yeah.
Meaning like it was a reference to, I don't know, militia or whatever, and they just do 7-minute drills. How many push-ups can you do?
No, I think it was a Kendrick. It was reference to one of Kendrick's lines or something like that.
Well, the song's only 4 minutes.
It's only 4 minutes.
Although the song's called 7-Minute Drill.
But still, 4-minute song versus 16 bars.
And niggas is looking at him like, how could you miss this? How could you miss this opportunity?
But I don't think that was a true response. I really think it was a warning shot. Like that's
it's a warning shot to a warning shot. Y'all fighting at that point. It's a shootout at that point.
Go ahead.
No. I was agreeing. Kind of.
I just thought it was the energy. Like I think we were expecting for somebody, whether it was Drake or J. Cole, to be like, just unload the clip. What I got, well, as I'm listening to it, I'm feeling J. Cole's energy. Like, yo, if you make me get up and put my shoes on, if you really make me get up, it's going to be trouble.
No disrespect. This is ironic coming from old heads right now. Like, y'all are so much more aware of what rap beef was, like, in its prime.
That's why I'm saying this is acting. That's why I'm saying it's acting. That's why, like, first of all, for Kendrick to feel the way that he feels, in my opinion, is ridiculous. Like, you sat down. You sat the fuck down. You walked away. Like, you left your chair, and then you mad because somebody else is sitting in your chair, and you left the chair for like hours, right? So you're coming at these cats, the two guys that are actually doing a lot of things right now, and you align yourself with someone who is getting ready to do projects in future, right? Okay, and then you have Drake and Rick Ross unfollowing each other, right? Drake and Rick Ross made beautiful music together, man, like that, right? So, and that doesn't make sense, right? And then J. Cole magically has a whole album that he can drop. And now, granted, again, he's a producer, so I know he got beats forever. So for him to just sit down and be like, let me put something together. But how convenient that within 2 weeks of this happening, all of a sudden, and Dreamville happening, I believe this weekend, all of these things are happening, right?
Right.
Come on. It's not beef, it's just promotion. It's just a storyline.
The beef that I'm used to is Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, that type of beef in our days when almost a whole album.
Man.
And straight up just, it's like several songs in the album just coming at somebody's neck. And like not really trying to make people guess who he's coming after. Like it was like known, like that's the type of thing that I'm used to. So like when all these underlying like little jabs here and there, I'm like, I don't get that. Like that, to me, that's like, all right. Then.
No name said, just subliminals.
Man. Jay-Z apologized to Nas for being like, I shouldn't have went that hard in that line. That's a beef. These motherfuckers ain't apologizing to each other. They're like, oh, you got three albums that's not that great. Right. Like, I'm the king, you're top 3. Like, yo, man, this shit is baby lotion soft. That's why I'm like,
Johnson & Johnson up in that joint.
Yes, we gotta understand now, it's not getting to the point of violence, you know? I mean, they could be like, oh, you got them dick-sucking lips, but like, y'all were ready to fight each other at that point in time. Now, like, they're actually trying to placate that and be like, hey, we're not even trying to make this a problem of shooting and pulling out guns and our guys getting involved. It's just skill.
I get it, but it's still just, to me, like, so I can't take it as beef. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't take it as legitimate beef. Like, I don't want anybody shot. I don't want anybody beat up. I don't want any of those things, but also, like, I've had this diet, 30, 40 years of diet of, like, when there's a beef, like, the lines are so heavy that people come back and be like, yo, I'm sorry I talked about your mom like that. I'm sorry. I apologize. Like, there's things that just get people going. To me, this is just, it's like, okay. It's just, it's a story. Like, it's an experience. It's like a soap opera.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera.
I think hip-hop needs this, though. I think hip-hop's, right now, this is very necessary for
because they're battling country music.
Yeah. Well, I think it is necessary too, because with a lot of that mumble rap and all that stuff that's out there, this is, they're trying to, I think, and I agree with Brandon and I agree with Ceez, is that on both ends it's acting, because they're trying to promote like some of the hip hop that has been kind of lost, I think, in my opinion. So that's, they just need to, it's just, how they're going about it. It's kind of,
Don't do it under the guise of his beef. Just go do it as I'm challenging you. Like, I think I'm better. Like,
I just don't think people had the words for it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, it definitely is that. They're challenging one another.
But I also understand this is not for me. This is not, I mean, it's not. Like, this is not my time. Right. Yo, so here's the thing about that kind of sucks about getting older. Now I understand why vampires are evil. Like, so imagine... You see these, as you get older, you see and you experience all these things, right? And then it takes more. It's like a rubber band, okay? So you put a rubber band over a cylinder, it's tight. You take the rubber band off, you put it over a larger cylinder, it stretches. Now when you try to put that same rubber band on the first cylinder, it's loose because it's been stretched. That's what our experiences are. You experience more, the more life you live, it takes more. It takes more for you to get excited or to see something.
Right,
so when, so all these songs that I'm hearing, all these movies that I'm watching, I've seen 1,000 times at my age. Mm-hmm. So it takes more for me to be like, yo, this is hot. This is exciting, or this is scary, because my experience has been stretched so far. So these beefs and things like that, I'm not measuring it against me needing to feel like, oh, it's something crazy, because for you weren't around for Jay-Z Nas beef. You weren't around for Kool Moe Dee LL Cool J. You weren't around for those beefs where it was like really heavy. And sometimes, I mean, aside from the ones where people got killed or beat up or whatever, they were probably fake as well.
Right.
But there was a layer of perceived violence. Like, you're just thinking like, yo, these two guys get together. It's going to be like...
Yeah, it's going to be a rap.
It's going to be a problem.
Can feel that. Yeah.
I can feel it. I don't see Jay-Z. I mean, I don't see J. Cole squaring up against Kendrick like not even close.
No.
But because of what I've experienced. But if I was your age or younger and I didn't see those things, this would be real heavy for me. I'd be like, oh my God, they really going at it. You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand what you're saying, and not to mention the fact that Kendrick's like 5'6".
Oh, the little motherfucker is angry.
Yeah,
4. He got a low center of gravity, dog. He fucked them knees up.
Midsection is gone. Right.
Nah, man, but I get it. I was just laughing at myself. I'm in the shower. I'm thinking about it like, yo, these motherfuckers really just had it planned. I could probably see them on the FaceTime. Like, release your shit first. Mm-hmm. Drake was like, well, I'm on tour, so I'm just going to fall back. And J. Cole was like, yo, I got some shit together, and then we're going to do this. Like,
and that's part of the speculation, honestly. People are saying that Drake perhaps kind of let Cole have it. Yeah. Like, hey, get out there, Cole. So Kendrick could now, just blow his load, essentially.
Right. To
where Drake now has an advantage and be like, hey, like,
Yeah.
And there's something to say about not, when you acknowledge somebody,
yeah,
you're giving them attention that you're giving them attention. So if I don't respect you, it's like a dog. If you want a dog to stop barking at you, just don't pay it any attention. He'll bark and be like, well, hey, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. But if you keep looking at the dog, you're giving the dog the attention that it wants. So it's going to keep barking at you. Mm-hmm. So for me, if this is for real, Drake did the smartest play, which is I'm on tour.
Right.
I got a 747 jumbo jet that I fly around the world. That's just my private jet.
Yeah.
That tour shit is not an excuse though, because he put Meek Mill in that same predicament where he was on tour with Nicki Minaj.
Well, Meek is special. Meek is. I would stop my shit to fuck with Meek just because it's fun. Twitter fingers. Like, yo. Is that your tour or your girl's tour?
I mean, I think about that sometimes, man.
But also, we evolve. Mm-hmm. How long ago was Drake and Meek?
Yeah, that was 2014. That was a while ago.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Drake done. How much success has Drake had in that time? If Drake if 2024 Drake is doing what 2014 Drake did, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
It's interesting, bro. We'll talk about it more once it unfolds a little bit more. But this J. Cole shit was not enough for, I think, to Kendrick to jump out at him with another diss.
He should though.
I mean, maybe just off of principle, but this shit was whack.
He should. Well, no, actually, he shouldn't. Well, but lyrically, was it lyrically whack or was it sonically whack for you, or was it both whack?
I think lyrically it was fine. I think sonically it was lacking, like the beat.
Yeah,
it needed to be something a little bit more iconic. Because then when you put that Future song on with Kendrick, it's like, but
that's like, a club song, and that's the thing. That's right. That's
part of the time we're living in right now. It has to be a club song in order for it to be inescapable, to where it's like, oh shit. Like,
no, it's.
That's what Back to Back was though for Meek Mill. It was a club song. He won a Grammy off of it. It was inescapable. You have to reach those metrics in order for it to even stick nowadays.
Right, but that's the difference with J. Cole versus Kendrick. As J. Cole being the person who's already he's in motion. He's wavy right now. He's everything is happening for him. Why does he need to step outside of the lane he's created for himself and dominated to address somebody that he's above right now?
Says who?
Says me. I'm talking. When was the last Kendrick project?
That was 2022.
Was it 22? Yeah, it was 22.
Okay.
Yeah, it was right around. It was a good.
You like that one,
Mr. Morales?
I enjoyed it.
You see, he's like, did you hear how he asked that question? Right?
like you can't look at me sideways too. Like, I was like,
so you're proving my point with the way you answered that question. So his last project was 2022. Which is this is it, I'm done. At least with that label, right? Mm. With no discussion about what he's going to do next. He disappears for 2 years. Let's be honest. Now, I don't listen to a lot of terrestrial radio, but I know on satellite radio, I don't hear too much of Kendrick's music played on a regular basis.
Mm-mm. I don't either. And I listen to satellite.
I listen to satellite. Maybe I'll hear it once or twice a month.
Right.
Sure.
Versus J. Cole records.
I can't give you that though.
I know, but I'm just saying. So, who's on top? Who has Greenville?
Right. Yeah. I mean, he definitely has a label under his belt. Kendrick's trying to catch up in that regard. I get it. Right. He just left his label to make his own label. I get it. J. Cole has his own festival.
He's got motion, man. And they're still, like, when you talk about top MCs, they're still talking about J. Cole. Not that they don't speak about Kendrick, but they talk about J. Cole. And the difference is Kendrick hasn't done shit. And J. Cole has been working all along. That's my point. So, like, why, if you were in J. Cole's position and you decided to jump out of the lane that you created for yourself just to address somebody in the terms that they came at you with, I'd be like, Ceez, that's lame. I would big brother you on that. I'd be like, nah, dog. Like, nah, don't come out of your character. That's how that's how you get exposed and you get done up. Like J. Cole don't make club records.
No, he definitely does not.
Yeah, not intentionally. No.
Right. Yeah. It just if it happens, it happens. But he's not like this is going to be a stadium level record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. Nah. He did what he was supposed to do. He addressed it. I saw a lot of memes with a lot of J. Cole's lines from the coming at Kendrick. I haven't seen so much of Kendrick's lines being memed up.
I don't know. You gotta go outside somewhere, man. They playing that Future record. Like,
I'm not talking about the playing of the record. I'm talking about the impact that it has on the social media level, visually.
Mm-hmm. What I'm seeing on social media right now in regards to that J. Cole response track is that it wasn't up to par. That's everything that I'm seeing. Maybe it's because the algorithm's fucked up.
No, yeah, you're probably is.
Because I'm hating or something. My algorithm's already.
No. I think what I think needs to happen is I think that people need to catch up. Like. Perfect example is early LeBron James. Early LeBron James, the criticism was he didn't have the killer instinct because there's 5 seconds left on the clock. He's not taking the game winning shot. He's passing the ball. And then one day, because I have no voice, but I'm like, yo, every time he's made the smart basketball play. He's almost at half court. He's thinking there's a 20% chance I'll make this shot. But Yeoman Johnson, underneath the basket, who's not even covered, has a 90% chance of making the shot.
Right.
Let me throw him the ball. But we're looking for Michael Jordan level aggression, play, taking over the game.
Kobe Bryant.
I got 5 people and the coach and the ref trying to block my shot, and I'm still going to take the shot, right? That's what we're looking for. So we're judging LeBron. We were judging LeBron on that using those metrics. Then one day, I think it was Charles Barkley who finally was like, nah, actually, he's making the high IQ play. He's making the right passes. He's making the right decisions. And then it's like, oh yeah, this dude really is brilliant. So then the narrative shifted on him. Like, okay, now we don't expect for him to take the game-winning shot unless he's in a position to it's a high percentage shot. And I think this is the same thing that's happening with J. Cole's response against Kendrick Lamar. We're looking for him to come out the way we wanted him to come out. And it didn't happen that way. He came out the way he wanted to come out with it. So give it a couple days, a couple weeks or whatever, and then it's going to sit in. It's going to be like, oh yeah, because he did like a whole fucking song, and he had some slick lines in that shit.
I agree. We react to things very soon, and once it marinates, once more things happen, I'm sure we'll have a different stance on it all.
Possibly,
yeah. But that's how it happens with all the beefs. Like you'll have one response and you have the other, and everybody's always like, "Oh, that one wasn't up to par. Or somebody got this. He didn't come back with it. Like he should have."
Right.
It's every time that it's come along, it's always been that way. So it's just there's always going to be that matter of opinion, and whoever's like a fanboy of who or one or the other, or even if you're not, you like them both equally. Like I respect both artists, like both their musics.
Right. And I don't think Silk has a dog in the race either. So he's just,
I don't care. I don't give it. Like, I just need for music to be entertaining for me. Like, I'm not a fan of Future at all. Like, I feel like.
Yeah, I never have been either.
I feel like his contributions to the urban music scene is a part of the reason why urban music is struggling the way it is, because of his sound and just, it was too much of it. So, me personally, I don't necessarily care for him or his music, his records, but I will say the record that record is dope. It's a great record. Okay, we're cool. We're good. J. Cole, I was listening. I'm like, yo, he's Sunday. I get it. He was very calm. It was that like, yo, please do not let me take my belt off. I'm going to let you know, but like I will never listen to that album again because it made me want to slip my wrist sonically. Like, yo, this is not a good experience. This is not a great listening experience.
And last point on this, and maybe this might even open up another can of worms, but in that same diss track, and you're saying that whole tape was trash. It made you want to slit your wrist.
Right.
In that same diss track, he's actually downplaying Kendrick's discography as if J. Cole's discography's miles ahead, as if it won awards, as if it. I mean, of course, he's shitting on the awards. He's like, hey, I don't care about that, but that matters.
But I do believe that J. Cole's discography is superior to Kendrick's. And in that, look, you roll your eyes all you want, Negro.
That's wild.
No, because I'm thinking about cultural impact. I'm thinking about recurrence. I'm thinking about the fact that if I'm doing a party or whatever, if I play an older J. Cole song, the response that it gets versus if I play a Kendrick song. I'm talking about if we look up the BDS spit reports to see how many times Kendrick's songs have been played historically versus J. Cole's songs played, who's winning that? So to like on that, fundamentally, J. Cole hasn't beat across the board, which is why, again, J. Cole can have a music festival every year, which is why J. Cole is constantly being featured on other artists' music, which is why they use J. Cole to put the stamp of approval of certain artists. They want artists to go into a certain lane. Yo, get J. Cole verse.
You're using the numbers don't lie approach to this whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm also, numbers don't lie, right? And I see you're an artist, right? So you're looking at it from like the impact of his 3 albums. Kendrick's first album was dope. It was incredible. Like, but again, we're talking about 3 shots versus how many albums has J. Cole had?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a bigger body of work. Not by much, but he's been around longer. Which
is hard to do in this business. Mm-hmm. It's not like by default we just hear like, all right, now you a rapper, you here until you're dead. Like, yo, motherfuckers come in and out of that flow all the time, right? Yeah. So he's been here longer, which proves my point.
You're gonna have to pick a side soon because you still flip flopping a lot.
I don't have to flip. I mean, I don't have to pick a side. But what I have to do is introduce this motherfucking show because we are
I know
30 minutes in. It's another episode of the Cultured Misfits podcast, and clearly this is going to be another 2-part episode. But I am Brandon, aka DJ Silk, and to the left of me we have
Ceez Rodney. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And to my right we have very, very special guests.
Oh man,
family. Yo, we've been doing this since the. I'm not going to say because I like the fact that people don't really know how old I am. So if I put the years out there, they're going to figure it out, right? Yeah. But my brother, man, we've been doing it. But to the right of me, we have
William Dungy.
There we go. Will.
Yep.
I can't call him Billy on here.
You just did.
I know. I know. My man, Will is here because you asked to sit in, right?
Yeah.
A while ago.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, he asked. He started listening.
Yeah, what sparks that interest? You got something to promote?
No, nothing to promote. I enjoyed the podcast. And I it just seemed like it was fun, and of course my brother, was on it, and his idea, his brainchild. So it was just something that I, would like to have been a part of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that makes me feel good. Like that people listen and be like, "Yo, I want to be on there."
Yeah,
that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
it is fun. I'd say.
Is it?
I enjoy myself. I'm always smiling on you.
You are, man. It's legit. That's why we here and whatnot. So happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. First time podcast and first time behind the microphone.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is. So Ceez, for years, he was the guy that helped me DJ, like carrying crates.
Okay.
Carrying equipment. I forget something at home. Yo, take my car. Can you run home and grab such and such?
Yeah, man. Good grief.
All that, so he's been around. He's experienced me when I was playing in clubs and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this is actually the first time that he's always behind the scenes or to the side, but now the spotlight's on you, boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No pressure.
That's great, man.
I'm used to being behind the scenes, man. This is different. So
that's awesome, man. It's time for it.
With me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we definitely want to talk about some travel teens because one of these kids travels a lot.
Yeah.
He's done got his passport stamped a few times, but and it is the time of year for people are thinking about vacations, and traveling and whatnot. And Ceez, have you been anywhere funky?
I've never been outside the country, no. The furthest I've been is probably just LA.
LA?
Okay.
Yeah.
La La Land?
Yeah, LA. I was just in and out for a day.
That don't count.
Yeah, music video shoot. Yeah, it probably doesn't count, right?
No, you didn't get to catch nothing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the vibe, like the
Yeah.
how did the music video go?
It was cool. I mean, it was with a bigger artist, somebody more prominent, and he actually forgot some of the lyrics, so his lip syncing was a little off. So it was kind of.
So was it Kendrick?
Oh, here we
One
go.
of those, yo, one of those types, but not him.
No. Oh, so you can't say you can't you don't.
It was King Los. It was King Los. You probably aren't familiar with King Los. He's a
I've heard
Baltimore
of him.
native. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he lives over there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they couldn't redo the scene. The lip syncing was off though.
I mean, if he don't know his lyrics, I mean, how many times can we do it?
Oh,
his
multiple. It was multiple times.
I mean, yeah, you do multiple takes in different environments. Let's be over here.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
You shoot it. Yeah.
okay,
No.
okay.
Yeah. For editing. Yeah.
Yeah, for
constantly.
editing purposes, right? And his process is like freestyling. He just kind of punches in.
Okay.
So I get,
Yeah.
not that he has to do that, but that's just what he's doing, I guess. Just for these small time features. Hey, pay me $1,500. I'll just do this. That was back when I was spending crazy just on my music career. But yeah,
Damn.
I know, man. I was younger. I think that was 2020. That was like peak pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Government money. coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah. That was that. That was that.
Yo, everybody was fucking fabulous.
Like,
man.
man, am I going to get that check? I qualify. Holla.
I know. In hindsight, man. But yeah, I was having fun.
Motherfuckers was buying Lamborghini trucks. Like they were
shit.
saying, yo, that was the thing. They were like,
Wow.
that's why there's
That's
a lot of
wild.
them available out there that got repoed and stuff because
Oh.
people like they were getting that money and they were like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and get this Urus. And
That's wild.
it's super wild, man. So,
That's crazy.
yo, that's cool. But all right, so this is gonna be a good episode for you then.
Okay.
Great discussion. But why don't we start with For the Culture? And I feel like because it's springtime, it's baseball. I hate baseball. Do you like baseball?
I'm not a fan.
I went to a game recently. It's pretty entertaining, really.
The games live are I will say they are entertaining. Only saw one professional game that was in Chicago, and it was both Chicago teams, the
Oh, okay.
White Sox and the what was the other Braves.
No,
Sorry,
not the
whoops, my bad. Look, that tells you how much I watch baseball. So
Not the Cubs? No.
yeah,
It was the Cubs?
Yeah, so
Yeah, Chicago Cubs.
yeah.
Chicago White Sox.
So it was a good game. It was entertaining. It was fun.
the energy's fun.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was it.
Definitely good energy at a
I
baseball.
love, yeah. And I mean, you just sit around, you just wait. Like, I just laugh at, like, how long you wait for something to happen. Like, people get excited. It's a foul ball. It's like, oh, it's a foul ball. Okay, all right. But nah, so watching the game, watching TV, no, live, cool. I'll go to a game, especially at Citizens Bank. It's a great experience. But are you familiar with who Satchel Paige is?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that in 1948, he was 42 years old.
Yeah. These guys were old.
But even back then, like
Yeah.
42-year-old Satchel Paige pitched the Cleveland Indians to a 1-0 victory over the White Sox in front of 78,000 fans.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's still an attendance record that still stands, right?
Wow.
He also holds the record for being the oldest rookie debut at 42. So he was just getting started professionally at 42, and the oldest player to play competing at 59 years old.
Wow.
And there was still segregation at that point, too. Huh?
Well, and I think that's part of the thing. I think he was oldest rookie into the major leagues when they were allowing
The Negro Leagues.
Yeah, because he was in the Negro Leagues for a long time and was like killing it there. And then, of course, then they let him integrate.
Yeah, they finally was like, okay.
Oh, so it's not like he just started playing baseball.
Right.
and-
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But to be 42, but still to be
Yeah.
considered a rookie and whatnot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And to play into age 59.
Okay.
Yeah,
Especially in a time where ageism was real. Motherfuckers be taking themselves out. They're like, yo, I'm this age, I can't do this anymore. I'm that age, I'm not going to do that. But
Well, yeah, because it's not like nowadays, like nobody was like really working out or doing stuff like not like that anyway.
Yeah,
Like you got
smoking cigarettes.
you had guys with bellies back then playing, professional baseball back
motherfuckers be in
then.
the dugout smoking a cigarette.
Right,
Like,
right.
oh, yeah, you up. All right, hold on.
Take this last puff real quick.
1948, we said?
1948, man.
Wow.
So 42 years old, man. 42-year-old rookie. Played till 59, age 59. So I would love to know what that looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time I hear his name really is when it's up against, what's the other guy's name? 42.
Jackie Robinson.
Like, why isn't he, as held to the standard or put on that pedestal that Jackie Robinson's put on? When was Jackie Robinson playing in the majors? I don't, off the top of my head.
Probably around the same time.
Around the same time?
Yeah, but Ceez, you know how it goes, right? Like, there's always pitting. Like, somebody has to be the good person, and the other person has to be the villain.
I think Satchel Paige kind of like paved the way as a Negro.
Okay.
Professional baseball player at that point in time, and then Jack Robinson came in.
They weren't even close, man.
Yeah, several years after. Yeah,
Jackie Robinson. When did? Let's see. He retired. Let's see. What did we do before we had the internet? We just be making shit up, right?
Yeah. Pretty much what I just did.
No, he played around the same time.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, so Jack Russell Roosevelt Robinson was an American professional baseball player who became the first American to play African American to play Major League Baseball in the modern era. Robinson broke the color line when he started first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15th, 1947.
Okay. So it wasn't like Jackie Robinson was the best. He was just the first to break that mold.
But he was good.
Yeah, he was good.
That's why they let him break the mold. Capitalism, dog. Capitalism.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't tokenism. It was the fact that he was that good.
He was that good. He was that good. He's the gold. He's like a gold standard in baseball.
I just hear Babe Ruth. I mean,
because he's the other gold standard.
Yeah.
Like who else? I don't know. A-Rod.
Yeah. Marketing, man.
Yeah.
Like not saying they're not good. I'm just saying there's a lot of guys that are good that play these sports, but it's all about the marketing that gets attached to them.
Yeah.
Think about all the guys that weren't even all that good, but they had a moment in time that caused them to be like we knew. Like, for example, NBA player, played for the Celtics. He won a dunk contest. He won the dunk contest because he wore Reebok pumps. And before he did a dunk, he pumped up his sneakers, right? And so it was like, we remember that. Like, oh,
right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, it's always comes down to marketing and whatnot. I always, I want to piss people off when I talk about Michael Jordan, and I'm like that's my guy and everything. But sometimes I'm like, was he really that good, or was it just because we got drilled with so many goddamn commercials through the course of his career? I want to be like Mike. Hanes underwear,
right?
Sneakers, Wheaties boxes, the movie, like the sneakers. Yeah. Like there's a lot of marketing that caused us to be like, to have this Delulu vision of how great he was, and he's a great basketball player.
But it's a mythology now associated.
I personally feel like that. Like especially when they're like, well, LeBron's not better than him, and I'm like,
you hear them compare those two all the time, and it's
which
just
they shouldn't.
Yeah, because it's two different eras, first of all, and they're playing in two different. The league is way different than what it used to be. It's not.
Yeah, those guys are doing coke back then, huh?
They doing coke now. What you talking about? They talking about now.
For real?
Yeah. The difference is with in Jordan's era, they didn't have the collective bargaining agreement, meaning that players didn't have any say as to where they played. Right? It was all in the ownership. So and guys hated each other. Like Michael, Magic hated Larry Bird, and like they had real beef. Real beef. The game was very aggressive and whatnot. So, and if you got a super team, it was because the management was able to figure out how to make it happen. It wasn't such and such calling up such and so and being like, yo, your contract's up, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you come here, and working it out like that. They didn't have that. They didn't have AAU back then. So they weren't playing against each other or with each other throughout their formative years to have friendships. So then now they're playing they're like friends. They're like, yeah, man, we're going to go on the yacht after this, blah, blah, blah. That none of that happened. But that's what's happening now. That's why the league is not as aggressive with the competition as it was before. You don't have guys hating each other because it's like, yo, we was on the AAU team together. Well, we was in this camp all every summer together. We did this. So it's just different. Like these guys aren't, and they're making crazy money. So they're like, yo, whether I get a chip or not, I'm paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Paid well.
Yeah. I got these endorsements. Like, fuck I care if I get a chip. Like later on, I'm sure they're like that. But like if I played in the league and I got the max contracts, and I got the endorsements, and I got like I don't know that I'm going to be so hungry for a championship. At least early on in my career. Maybe down the line where it's like I've accomplished a whole bunch of things, and I'm like, you know what? It would be nice to have a ring or two.
Right, that's the one thing you don't got.
Yeah, but nah, man. Like, but to my original point, people are clutching their pearls and cussing me out. Like, nah, Michael Jordan is a GOAT. All I'm saying is that sometimes I wonder if we would feel the same way about him if we didn't have the marketing push behind him. That's all. Right. And that was an epiphany that I had when I was watching the documentary.
Yeah.
And they were showing all of the things. And I'm like, yo, they fucking brainwashed us. Like, you just, like, okay, all right.
That's what they do, man. It's marketing ploys like that.
Some bullshit. Oh, you know what time it is.
Shot o'clock. I even know that.
Right. You know that. Yeah, you should, man. You should. Thank you, Ceez.
Yes,
thank you, Ceez. All right, man. So, here we're already warmed up, so it's not like we even need a shot, but
nah, we need that shot. Actually, let's have a Will.
Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't update this.
Oh, you don't have the bottles that are on there, huh?
Yeah. All right. Well, if it lands on one that we don't have, it'll just go to the next one. All right. Go ahead and spin it, man.
All right. There we go.
Nah, come on. Don't do that.
I didn't know how, man. It's all tight.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
What?
Jack.
What is it?
Jack.
It's Jack.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll grab that Jack Daniels, sir.
Yep.
You like Jack?
Yeah.
So do I.
Do you? Do you now?
I surely do.
Is that a flavored one or is that just a regular Jack?
This is just regular. Old number 7.
Want me to get the open one?
Yeah. Thank you.
My bad.
I think that.
Trying to bust the new one open.
Could you grab the 3, the 2, that one, those 2 are for you, and that one's mine. This was gifted to me from my friend the Wilder. It's special. We probably gonna have to bust that one open because it's not gonna be enough.
Okay.
So I don't think so. We ain't taking no punk shots.
Oh Lord.
I'm with it.
Here. Go ahead, pour it, Negro.
Yo, this guy.
You gonna need more.
You been
in a little bit more.
You been here enough. You got walking into house privileges.
Facts. Yeah, facts.
There you go.
I do feel strange doing that.
Still?
Yeah, a little bit.
I do too, man. Don't be this hard.
Nah, man.
Like, I'm still the same way. I'm like, should I come in?
I know he sent me a text while I'm on the turntables. I was nice, and I was about to be like, nigga.
I know.
Yeah, the one time I called you when I was outside, I was like, is it 116? You like, man, just get the fuck in here. I'm like, all right, never again.
Look, man, like I want people to have a good experience when they're around me, and mi casa is su casa.
Yeah, hospitality is so important.
Yeah, man. Yo, to Will.
Oh, thank you.
Will.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
Knock her back.
Yes.
Yeah. How about that? Chasing it with water. On top of that, that's gangster.
I ain't need no chase for that. That was lame.
That was good.
Damn, man. Look, you want to keep that youthful appearance. You don't be being that guy.
Oh man,
taking hard liquor and being like, I don't need no chaser.
I just enjoy beer really when it comes to drinking.
I'm the same way, man.
You know?
Yeah, as I've gotten older.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I stick with my vodka and stuff. What was actually the first drink you ever had? What was your first go-to drink? I'm sorry. I apologize. Your first go-to drink.
My first go-to drink. Always like the vodka pineapple, vodka cranberries. Like in terms of alcohols though, I would say people have me thinking like the Casamigos is really something special. You know, and that's another thing of marketing, like.
Yeah.
Because that's just disgusting.
Oh, Lord. Well, it won't be... you won't be endorsing that.
I mean, just tequilas in general are just harsh. Like,
so you just disqualified yourself from all tequila brands, bro.
It's nice with the nice little pineapple, you know.
There you go.
Sometimes you gotta save it.
Reel it back in, like take the cues. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now, but honestly, there's an opportunity for a new tequila company to present you a tequila that you like,
right?
And then you could be like, "Yo, I didn't like tequilas before, but this is that shit."
So, and I'll admit, I'm not really an alcoholic. I'm not a connoisseur. I'd say,
right.
Okay.
Alcoholic was crazy, but I'm not a connoisseur.
Right.
I don't know the differences in tequila. So you got to just, somebody will break it down for me one day.
Yeah, it's just quality. It's like
but what's quality though? What's the standard?
It's how it's distilled.
Because
and the agave that they use.
Because we just look at top shelf and we be like, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yo, get drunk on some old well shit, and then you'll understand after the next day why you spend the money for the top shelf.
It's the hangover and all that.
Yeah, or lack of, because some of that stuff is you don't have any hangover the next day. You know,
after being like trashed.
No, trash.
Nah,
I'm young. If we getting trashed, though,
you haven't learned
just drinking
to
for
moderation, like how to pace yourself, like to drink for experience, like instead of drinking to get fucked up.
Yeah, I haven't been to a vineyard. I haven't been to like a wine tasting.
Wine tasting, that's. But when you do wine tasting, you spit the wine out.
Yeah, you swish it around to get the aromas in your.
And that's why I say vineyard, because apparently that's a nice little dating environment.
It is, man. It is. That's
Or even another. You go to wine tasting in general, like at a liquor store.
Yeah, they'll have.
I went to one. They served wine and cheese and bread like that.
At a liquor store on the corner. On the block.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
But like some of the local ones have done that. So.
Like Ward's, I believe it's called Ward's. Is over by Trolley Square. They will have wine so if you have a wine brand and it's new, how do you get people to try it?
Okay.
You provide bottles to different locations and you sponsor a wine tasting. You let people come in and give it a try. Because people they're very much committed to whatever wine they drink.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so.
And that's actually where I had a wine tasting, was at Ward's.
At Ward's, okay, yeah. So,
and Frank's does it too, right by my job.
Yeah, Frank's. So it's another one that's by Union Park. Not Winter BMW. Winter Audi. I'm just fucking it all.
How do you even figure this shit out? Like,
through life, man. Through life.
No, I'm saying like they post it on social media.
Yeah, actually now they do. Frank's does a lot. You know, he does a lot of stuff on there.
You go when you buy liquor and there's like a chalkboard and somebody's handwritten Wednesday.
We're getting effed up. No,
yeah. But you know what I did for my dad for Christmas? I got him like a couple of months of wine from a wine club and picked out some really high end wine that they really enjoyed. So, but yeah, just if you hang out at liquor places, then you will see what. You go not hang out, but you go to buy.
Right.
You go to buy. So
hanging out,
I know, just hanging out like a wine.
Right? Yeah, like all the other homeless people around.
Right.
God, damn it.
What was your first drink?
Whiskey sour.
That was it?
That was it, man. I remember that because I've heard about it and I didn't know any better. And we were going out to the clubs and I was like, drink of choice. And then I stuck with that for a long time.
You know what? I think I'm having flashbacks and I might be wrong, but so mine was a fuzzy navel.
I don't know what that is.
I will look it up. But and I had
girl
it
drink.
and we had it at Dave and Buster's when we started. Yo, that was the thing. Ceez. We were waiting for the day that we could be old enough to go to Dave and Buster's and not have parents with us. Like we never went with our parents, but like you had to be 21 to get in unaccompanied. And I remember I was like, "We're gonna get a drink." And I was like, what? Something with orange juice? Because I love orange flavored stuff. And I was like, yeah, I have a fuzzy navel. And that was my drink of choice. I thought I was doing something. You know, I was a punk ass drink.
That's a bitch drink?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, I always get the girly drinks, man.
I think so too.
I used to do, along with whiskey sours, I was doing Midori sours, and people were like, "Oh, that's a girly." I was like, "It's whiskey, man." It's sweet. I'm like, "Get out of here," but I loved them, so I was like, "Stick with the whiskey sours." I'm trying to be no punk.
Hey, whenever I order like a margarita or something, I definitely let the bartender know, "Don't put the sugar around the rim. I don't need all that."
Listen,
you don't.
Listen, you get older, you're like, "Look, put that sugar around the top. I want my sugar."
Yeah. So like peach schnapps is in it. So I thought I was getting orange or something, but it's like peach schnapps and something. I can't find because there's all these variations. Like this is the best recipe. I ain't trying to do all that. But yeah, it was fuzzy navels, Dave and Buster's. I'll never forget. Coincidentally, like the sweeter the drink, the worse the hangover is going to be. Yeah. So you know,
I've heard that. Yeah,
all that sugar.
Do you know the rules of drinking though? Like in terms of when you start drinking, what to do or what not to do?
No, not necessarily.
So if you start with dark liquor, you stay with dark liquor.
Right. You don't mix the
darks and lights, right? You don't mix brands.
Okay.
So you start with.
So if they're dark, you just not two dark different brands.
No, like so like for vodka, because it's my jam. Like so, if I have stateside, I'm having stateside all night. If I'm having Ciroc, I'm having Ciroc all night. Okay. I am not one drink with stateside, one drink with Ciroc, one drink with Stoli, one drink with Absolute Light, because that's how you get fucked up.
Okay.
Because they have different properties and this thing. So yeah, you have to stay.
Okay, I never heard that one.
Also with beer and liquor, so there's always that saying, Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, never sicker.
That
was old. That was old.
Last time I did that, for sure, I threw up.
Yeah.
I drank a beer. I went out, had like 6 shots.
Yeah. So that was a saying back then. I always stuck in my brain. I was like, okay, all right.
See, I don't even fuck with beer.
Yeah, but typically I would always stick with one or the other. Like if I'm out drinking or something, like it was always either beer or liquor. I would never go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been drunk?
Oh,
was it with me at Jasmine's?
No, I've been drunk since. Oh no, that was the last. No, it was not Jasmine's. It was Oh man, when we were going to have cigars? Where was that place? It was in where was that at? Hockessin area.
Okay.
Remember we would go out like Monday nights or something like that. That night when we were doing cigars and I was drinking and that messed me all the way up.
Yeah.
I came home and I was
heave-hoing.
man.
I mean, them cigars come with a little spin too. So.
You get buzzed.
Oh my God, I did not realize that. And I was
I like cigars.
Yeah, that got me.
A little buzzing like a beehive, man.
That got me good.
The last time I had a cigar, I think, was down in Miami. And I forget the name. Espanola Way. Had a nice cigar. And I really appreciate the waitress. And I got a number, and she never responded. Like we were gonna hang out while I was there, but she was going through things, so whatever. And I only sent one message. I was like, "Well, you went under," and she didn't respond. I'm like, "Yo, well, all right, whatever."
Yeah.
But no, I appreciated her because she paired my cigar with a liquor that was really good but not expensive.
Okay.
Because she could have fucked me. She could have really been like, "Yo,
right.
You know, I would have ended up spending $100 for a cigar and a drink instead of the 50.
Right. Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Easily. So, but yeah, cigars.
Yeah, last time I had a cigar was New Year's Eve. That was recently, I'd say.
When's the last time you got fucked up?
Oh, last time I got fucked up. To the point where I'm drunk spinning? Or just
like you gripping because you feel like you're about to fall off the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was Jasmine's.
That was... I feel bad about that. That was my fault.
You got her fucked up? She's about to fall off the
No, because before you tell your story,
yeah.
I'll tell you this. So I used to go to Jasmine's because shout out to Geneva, the bartender. She would hook me up. Like, so Tuesdays, Thursday, Friday nights, I would go. It was my social thing. And so she would make 8-ounce glasses, vodka cranberry, with like triple, quadruple shots of...
Whoa.
And I would have 3 or 4 and be not even nice. Like my tolerance was that high. And so he came out one night and he's drinking with me. And I'm not thinking about it. Like because if I had thought about it, I'd have been like, slow down. But she made the drinks just as heavy for him as she did for me.
Lord.
Yeah. He said you had to climb up the steps when you got you had to do the hands and knees up the steps.
Dude, it was rough. It was rough. And they were so smooth. Like you taste the alcohol, but you're like, oh, okay, you just keep going. Nah, man. It was rough. I didn't really get sick. But I was just
top shelf liquor.
Yeah, but I was definitely hemmed up.
I've never blacked out being drunk, so I don't take it there. I know when to stop before getting there, but I'd say I went to Dewey Beach for the first time.
Whoa, fucking with them white people. Whoa.
Yo, it's nice out there, though. I like that.
Yeah, Dewey's nice. Yeah.
Went out to the beach, one of their little local bars.
Yeah.
Got drunk, got wasted. Pre-gamed, of course, too.
Oh,
okay,
Lord.
Yeah, so nobody's keeping track of nothing at that.
Nope.
At the end of it all, though, we get some pizza.
Oh, yeah.
But it's too late for that at this point. You already drunk. You already lit.
Yeah.
You ain't sopping nothing up.
Nope.
Yeah. Pizza was banging, though. We go out to the beach, pitch black.
Uh-huh.
We know that's dangerous, though. We're not going swimming or nothing. I didn't bring any swimming trunks. It's pitch black out there. All I can remember next is being in the car covered in sand.
Damn.
Throwing it up out the window on the way home. Like,
Oh, wow.
Out the car window. I felt bad. My boy was like, man, it's no problem. He just wiping it down and hosing it down.
Wow.
But like, yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. Though,
Yeah,
But like, I was with the boys. It wasn't like,
Right.
it happens.
Yeah.
Being the younger one in the group and stuff, you know.
It wasn't like in front of your girl or something like that you were trying to impress. Hopefully.
Nah.
That's never happened.
Nah.
Yo, That's funny. Nah, mine happened in Miami.
Okay.
My first time.
Yeah.
My first time there. 2008. Yeah, it happened. So what happened was, so I get there, and I didn't drink. So up until that point, I never really drank like that. Like, it wasn't like I didn't drink, but I wasn't whatever, right? So I get there, and immediately I start having drinks. I link up with a girl. You're good. I link up with a girl that I had met on MySpace. This is how diabolical I was, right?
MySpace.
Yeah, I don't
MySpace,
know
right?
what MySpace was back then. I don't know.
So this is how diabolical I am, right? So I'm like, I want to go to Miami. I don't have anybody to go with. I know I'm going. So like 4 months before I know I'm going, I get on MySpace. I search for women that fit my parameters.
Okay.
Send all these friend requests, and like she's one of the ones that bit. That sounds so bad, but we're still friends to this day. Like, actually, out of 6 of them, 2 of them I'm still very close with, right? So she's my tour guide now. She's waiting for me. So I get down there. She scoops me up. Now she's taking me to local spots, and this is where I fucked up. I was so like in 2008, Miami culture was so heavy in hip hop, right? So like Club Mansion. Yeah. Like King of Diamonds Monday, like Live on Sunday, King of Diamonds Monday, like all these different clubs that I wanted to go. I wanted to have this experience of like what I hear in the songs. She's taking me to where the locals go. Where the locals go is dope. There's all these beautiful ass people. Like, it's amazing. But point is, I'm drinking. Like, from the time I land, like, I'm just constantly drinking. I never get more than nice. Because I'm drinking at a nice pace or just whatever.
Nice.
So, yeah, right? Yeah. I'm grooving. I am absolutely... Yo, that trip was so dope. It was so incredible. Anyway, so there's a lot of people from Philly that was down because it was 4th of July weekend. Oh. So there's a lot of people I know because that's when I was heavy in the clubs and stuff. So I'm hanging out with this person, that person, her. Like, it's just wonderful. So by the second to the last day, well, my last full day, I'm cocky. Because I'm like, I've been drinking all this time and I've never been more than nice. So I end up going to Wet Willie's. I leave her in the room because she's like, I don't want to do this tourist shit. I'm like, all right, just hang out in the room, right? All right, as promised, we're done. Not finished, we're just done, okay? Remember, you can follow me at djsilk on Instagram, Spill, X, Threads, and then djsilk12 on TikTok, and of course on mixcloud.com, djsilk12, that is, djsilk12 for Soul School mixes. Also, you can catch me on WEAA 88.9 FM every Friday morning from 9 to 9:20 a.m. for the Soul School mix with Erica Kane and Lena J. You can stream it on weaa.org, or you can go ahead and download the WEAA app on your favorite app store situation, whether you're an Apple person or Android user. All right. Catch you next week for part 2.